Hi everyone, welcome. We're going to wait a couple of seconds because we've got something we want to show you. So before we do that, I think we'll wait a couple of seconds, right, Chris and Eddie, so we can show as many people as possible.
Yeah, absolutely. Give people time to sign in.
Hi, Annette.
Hello.
Hi, Adira. Hi, everyone.
Oh, fast. People already online waiting. Awesome.
I'm so excited for this today. Hi, January.
Yeah, me too. I'm really excited to see everyone and see what everyone's up to. I'm always that person though that can never find the link in an email. So I'm always late signing in. So we just want to give everyone a couple of minutes to make sure that they can not do a me and actually find the link.
Hi, Jenny. Hi, Terry. Hi, Sarah.
Hello, everybody.
Oh, Cinnamon is here. Christina. Hi.
We'll give it a couple more minutes and then we go. I guess we could introduce ourselves really quickly. I think we introduce ourselves every time, so we might as well do it one more time. So I'm Ida, I'm the program manager for Master Colour Expert. I'm the person who you've probably been annoyed with the most these past 5 months, but we're done and we're here. Eddie, Chris, do you guys want to introduce yourselves too?
Yeah, sure. So my name's Chris. I'm the Global Education Design Manager for Wella Professional. I look after trend collection, Master Colour Expert, so in the studio and online, and I look after some colour stuff as well, and a bit of styling.
Hey, I'm Eddie, Global Capability Manager for Wella. Stuck in Geneva here, used to traveling, but no travel at the moment. But super excited to go on this journey with you guys, and super excited to see you guys from start to finish. So we'll have a lot of fun tonight and celebrate.
Yeah. Hi, Clara. Got Maxine, Roxana, Kim. Hi, everyone. I think I'll give it one more minute and then I think we'll start. I'm too excited. I don't want to
wait. You're like chomping at the bit to get started. No, we're really excited.
Yeah, well, it's bittersweet, though.
Yeah, it is sad when we get to time.
Awesome.
Hi, Daniel. Hi, Sarah.
Hello, everyone.
Sanchez.
Shall we start?
Let's do it.
Well, let's go then. All right,
okay.
guys, let's go.
You're now Master Colour Experts. This is absolutely incredible. We're so happy and so proud of you. It's been such a journey for you, but also for myself and Eddie as well.
Absolutely. It's been so lovely seeing all the work that you've done, correcting your head block challenge, going through the assessments with you.
The case studies.
The dreaded case studies.
Yeah.
But you have earned this title. You are now a Master Colour Expert.
Congratulations on becoming a Master Colour Expert. It's such a massive achievement. With this knowledge, you will be the best possible technician.
It took a lot of hard work and dedication, but now you could say you are a member of an elite group around the world of Master Colorists.
The new skills and the new gained knowledge has for sure grown your confidence in colouring hair.
I'm sure you've really enjoyed the whole thing, but I'm sure there's also been times we've been really frustrated by it, but that's what makes us all better at what we do in the craft that we're working in.
It must have taken quite a lot of time and effort and energy in order to complete this. So really take a moment to think, yeah, I've achieved something really good.
I really enjoyed that. We're back. Quickly, before we start, I want to say happy birthday to Sarah Hanson, who is joining us on her birthday today. Happy birthday to you.
It was my birthday. Let's do happy birthday.
Absolute celebration, Sarah. I was trying to type and I couldn't type in.
All right, guys. We've got a bit to get through today. I think it will be quite interesting and exciting. Of course, it's not going to be like our other webinars. We don't have anything to teach today or to go through in massive amounts of detail, but we do have some exciting experts, and I think we're just going to have a lovely chat about everything and see how we go. So this is your final webinar from Master Colour Expert Online. Chris, Eddie, I'm super sad that this is the last one. I'm gonna cry. No, but it's really hard one to get to this point, because you guys have worked so hard, and we don't want to let you go, but we know you're going to do great things. We're gonna do a Q&A at the end as usual, and we can answer as many questions as possible. So make sure that you fill them out in the comment section as we go, and we'll do as many as we can. Now, before we get on to the meaty bit of the webinar, I do want to say congratulations to everyone again. And I've said it a million times, but it wouldn't be an end of program webinar without celebrating all the hard work that you've put in over the past few months. I want you guys to let me know in the comment section what your highlights have been. Let me know what you're most proud of, what's your greatest achievement, what's been the most enjoyable part. And while you guys add that in, Chris, Eddie, I know you guys want to say a few words too, so I'll hand over to you.
Well, if I kick off, I want to just say, guys, a huge congratulations. I hope you are shouting from the rooftops about this. I hope you are telling everybody, your family, your friends, your cousins, the relations that you don't really speak to. I still hope you're telling them as well. You know, you're so proud of this. You know, so much work goes into this, and I don't think people really understand or appreciate how much training we do as hairdressers. And, you know, be so proud of yourself. And then a big thank you as well for the inspiration that you guys have given. Going through your work and looking through the submissions you've given, the work has been outstanding. And that's not just from me, that's from your assessors as well. They're so proud of you.
Yeah, excuse me. Yeah, definitely. Just seeing, you know, the amount of work that you guys have put in, and a tiny snippet of that just in that video, then like all the work looks so beautiful, and like it's so incredible what you guys have achieved. Generally, for me, it's just endless amounts of thank yous. You know, thank you for your hard work and your dedication. You know, it takes quite a lot to, so much in fact, to be part of like you know, dedicated to learning which is self-directed, and so just a massive congratulations for achieving so much. And really thank you just for being part of the Weller family and for, you know, learning and progressing your career with Weller. So big thank you. And thank you for trusting the process. We know that it is a really challenging experience with so many twists and turns along the way. But you've done it, and you're now Master Colour Experts, and you're now part of the Colour Elite. So congratulations, it's fantastic.
Congratulations, everyone, again. I don't think we'll ever be able to stop saying it. I'm going to ask you some questions, guys. So, Eddie, Chris, what do you think the most challenging part of Master Colour Expert is, just looking back?
Good question. For me, it has to be the head block. I think when everyone goes in to do the head block challenge, they're like, what is this? Why have I to do this? I don't really understand this. But just with my experience, seeing people doing it and doing it myself twice, it's, you get to be challenged in so much in such a short amount of time that would take like weeks to get that much experience behind the chair in the salon, you know, to be challenged in different ways and work towards an objective that's super, super hard and with zero flexibility. Like, you have to get that result. There's so many learnings in it.
Yeah, the head block is an absolute beast. Along with that, there's so many challenging aspects. I think, you know, the industry is constantly changing and evolving, and we have to make sure that we stay relevant and we stay informed all the time. And I think one of the most challenging aspects of the Master Colour Expert is the volume of work that you need to do in order to become accredited as that expert, as a recognized Master Colour Expert. You know, you never know what's going to come up in your assessment, so you just have to absorb everything and get it all to go into your head. And I know, you know, myself, whenever I learn something, I have to kind of repeat it and go over it so often to make sure it goes in. So the volume of work is huge, and I think that is one big challenge.
I agree with you both. So in that, we've done, let's say, so much work now. What is it that makes this moment now such a special achievement?
So much, but I think it's the discipline and dedication that you need, especially when you're doing something self-directed, any learning generally, but something self-directed where you are having to find that time and, squeeze it into your busy schedule and be committed. And, when you're doing model work, like taking new elements of inspiration and bringing something alive in a way that really represents you as a person, as well as a hairdresser, you just got to have so much energy and force to get into making sure that you achieve the goal that you want to set out to do. And I think all of these qualities, all of this drive and ambition is something that, will stay with you for the rest of your career.
That's so true. So true. Is it me now?
Yes, you babes.
It is. I just think as a master color expert, I'm just reading some of the comments here and they're just like echoing what I'm about to say. And it's like, this is something you can't buy. You have to pass this, you have to earn this, and you have to achieve this. The assessments are consistent straight through. It's hard. And that's, for me, is like, what makes this such a special achievement? You have to really earn it. And looking at some of the comments here about like the different things that have challenged you and where you've learned and what you've learned, it's awesome.
Absolutely, it's so true. A massive well done to all of you, because we all know you truly have worked so hard. Like, we've been there with you in the trenches when it's deadline day and you guys are really stressed, but we've made it and we're here. So you've achieved something really, really special, and we're super, super proud. I'm going to read a couple of the comments. So one from Kim. So definitely most proud of the case studies. No way could I have answered those before this program. What else have we got from Maxine? This was like getting an undergrad degree. Well, it's a master's, isn't it? Yadira, joining and completing the program has been the highlight for me as a whole. That's lovely. Christina, congratulations everyone. My highlight, finally stepping out of my comfort zone and being confident in sharing my knowledge with clients without thinking. I hope that makes sense. I love that too. There's so many, I want to read them all. Daniel, I've grown in knowledge and confidence. My greatest takeaway is keeping it simple and not looking for magic. We're beauticians, not magicians. It's science. Love that.
It's a code, not a wand.
What else is there? Or maybe I'll do one more. From Alexa. Achievements for pushing my limits, absorbing so much information and putting it all in practice in a day on the floor. All thanks to you and my mentor, Nicole Cunningham. Loved it all. After having a baby, this MCE was the ultimate push. I can't believe it's over. Am I right in saying, Alexia, you also gave birth just before the program started?
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I remember it was very, very soon.
Yeah.
Congratulations again. Now, we don't want to get too soppy, so we're going to move on to the next bit.
Yeah, I'm going to cry.
Yeah. All right. So you've graduated now, you're Master Color Expert. We want to chat a bit about what that actually means. So as a Master Color Expert, you're an advanced colorist, you're part of an elite group, and you're a recognized member of the most advanced color family within Wella. So your role has now fundamentally changed, and you should be reflecting on who you are as a Master Color Expert. So in the final module, there was a specific lesson which talked about your role as a Master Color Expert. And this is something that we're going to go into more detail. So just to recap really quickly, a Master Color Expert is someone that embraces and seeks challenges. It's someone that thrives in difficult situations. They exceed their clients' expectations. It's someone that understands their worth. It's someone that shares their knowledge. It's someone that never stops learning, and it's someone that stays aware. Chris, Eddie, I'm going to ask you guys, if you guys had to choose one of these values, which do you consider an integral part, and what does it mean to you? I'll go to you first.
For me, it is never stop learning. Has to be never stop learning. I just think, you know, there's so much out there that we can know and that can change and can develop. And you know what? Learning isn't just about hair. There is education out there on like communication skills, listening skills, coaching skills that we may not always see as like super relevant to being a hairdresser. But, you know, this can help us as managers, as trainers, and, you know, becoming a consultation specialist. And the list goes on. Like, never stop learning, seek more and more information. And like, there is always a learn there if you want there to be. And that's something as an educator myself, I always say, if you want to learn, you will learn.
Absolutely. Thank you, Eddie. Quickly, Chris, before I ask you, I'm going to ask the participants also, which value resonates the most with you? And which one are you going to embody moving forward? Pop it in the comments and we'll read some out. But Chris, I'll ask you too, which one resonates with you and what does it mean to you?
Oh, I have to choose just one. It is really hard because it isn't just one thing that makes a master color expert so special. It's a combination of everything. You know, you could speak so full, like give such a full explanation about any of them, but I guess it's understand your worth for me. I think, you know, like we've all said, you know, everything you've been through and the sacrifices you've had to make and the effort you've had to put in and all of these things, it's you know, makes you a really valuable person to have in any situation, especially in a hair salon, you know, any environment. So, you know, never undersell yourself, always know, you know, your value, and just be confident in knowing that you are like an expert in everything. So yeah, definitely understand your worth.
Absolutely.
So,
I don't have any comments on value specifically, but I am going to read just a couple more comments because they are so nice. I've got one from Annette that said, I feel the challenge begins now. It's a certain time in history to be a hairstylist. Luckily, we have our newfound knowledge, color corrections, blending grades, and giving our clients something new.
that's so true. It's like getting an A is easy, keeping it is hard.
Yeah. One from Cara, this program has made me hungry for more education. Such a wonderful way to test my abilities. Now I want to learn more. And I've also got a couple of comments coming in about knowing your worth, strengthening your color consultations, increasing confidence, and also making sure that after getting the top marks, after all you've learned, you need to continue to put the theory into practice. One from Sarah, educating clients and not undervaluing yourself, super important. Everyone, the biggest thing is value, confidence, knowledge, everything that just makes you more empowered. I love that guy.
I love the word value.
Okay. Should we move on to the exciting bit? Okay. So we're going to move on to the next section now. We have two great guest speakers with us today. These are speakers who have both gone through the MCE themselves, and they're here with us this evening to share some insight and advice with you all. So what I'm going to do first is I am going to hand over to Chris. Me and Eddie are going to sit back, drink some non-alcoholic beverage because we're going to...
That doesn't look very non-alcoholic.
And have a listen. Chris, I'll let you get on with it and we'll sit back.
Cool. Thank you, both of you. Yeah, we're really excited to share on the call today an artist called Matthias Herzberg. Matthias is a salon owner in Germany. He has a salon called Art Room. He is also a Weller Passionista and has a huge following on Instagram. And he's just completed his Master Color Expert with all of you guys. So welcome, Matthias. How are you doing? I think you're on mute.
Yeah, I'm muted. Sorry. I'm great. Thank you. I'm so happy to be here with all of you, celebrating with you all. And thanks for having me. And congratulations to everyone on completing the Master Color Expert. This is a massive achievement.
Yeah, it's super exciting. Yeah, we're really happy to have you here. I know Matthew's over in Germany, so it's nearly midnight over there. So thank you again for joining us. But we've got people from all around the world, people getting up super early to be part of this. So again, thank you to everybody. But Matthias, what would you say was the highlight of your Master Color Expert experience, your journey?
I wanted to do this course for so long, and I wanted to step up my craft as a colorist. But as a business owner, it's hard to do a class which takes up to 4 weeks at a Wella studio here in Germany. And I wouldn't be at the salon. So the MCA Online was the perfect chance for me to do everything from home. So doing like a home office.
Yeah, fitting it in around your extremely busy, life that you have as Passionista, have as a business owner, as a mentor, like all of these things. It must have taken quite a lot. So, congratulations to you too. But I think that's something a lot of people can relate to. We have people who, like, we have a new mum on the Master Color Expert. We have people who are looking at people, and it's all kind of, it takes all sorts of walks of life. But what else was a highlight for you?
Yeah, I must say I'm a really curious person, and I always want to know everything. The MCE provided me so much research material and insights about the chemistry, and I really loved that. And I really enjoyed my calls with my assessor. There was Abby Smith. She took a lot of time and made sure that I understand every tiny aspect. And we even had some heated discussions. But I mean, she really pushed me to step out of my comfort zone, doing something completely different than I would normally do at the salon. And this by far helped me grow as a colorist and now as a Master Color Expert. So thank you, Abby.
Yeah, massive shout out to all of our assessors. It's fantastic to have them, a real key part of the Master Color Expert experience. But a lot of these guys are now thinking about, what their next steps could be now they're a Master Color Expert. What aspects of the Master Color Expert are you personally going to put into practice, and how do you plan to do that?
Before the Master Color Expert, I wasn't a chemist at all, and I'm a good colorist. I know my color wheel. I know it really well. But during these few months doing the MCE, I learned so much about what's really happening inside the hair shaft, especially what's in the tube and what needs to be composed to create the perfect balanced hair color. And that's what I always wanted to know so bad. And for sure, I'm giving this knowledge, I pass on this knowledge to all my colleagues and my beautiful girls in my salon, because they're so talented. And for me, knowledge is something so powerful, and you have to pass it on.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's great. I used to work in a salon with someone who was a really experienced hairdresser, and he would never tell me anything that he'd done. I'd be like, oh my God, that was a beautiful color. How did you do it? And he was like, I'm not telling you. I'm like, no. But we see it so different now. You see people posting stuff all over, like, social channels and things like that. And I think it's fantastic that you're the kind of hairdresser that's sharing that with your team. So yeah, really cool. So what was the one thing that you can do now that you couldn't do before you were an MCE?
With all the knowledge that was shared with me over the past few months on the platform or by my assessor, I must really say I'm more confident now. More confident when it comes to following the Wella standards, for example, 100%. Like, I mean, doing the brush on bowl, so it's a cleaner application in the end.
Exactly. So, no, thank you for that. That's all really super useful. So, I guess now we're in a situation which is pretty a kind of uncertain time in our industry. It's tough to be a hairdresser with everything that's going on, globally around the world. It's tough for every industry, and our heart goes out to everyone who's having a difficult time with it. But one thing that can give us comfort at a time like this is, it's a situation where we are, as hairdressers, we're all in this together. As a business owner, unfortunately, you have had to close your salon due to COVID-19. How are you staying in touch with the team, and how are you kind of still keeping the relationship alive with your clients?
we try to keep posting our Instagram posts as usual, just for our clients, because our clients still need inspiration because our schedule has to be busy after we can open again, for example. Then we do regular video calls with our team just to stay up to date. And something we wanted to do for so long were how-to videos for our clients, how to use our shampoos or how to do styling on yourself. And that's something I was really looking for. And we also have prepared care packages for our clients on maintaining their hair at home.
Ah, cool. Yeah, it's really good. So you're sending those out or sending those to your clients. That's really cool. So thinking forward then, so once, you know, hopefully all of this blows over and the situation we're in and we can all finally open our salon doors again and get back to work and, you know, be back in our teams. What are you doing now to make sure that you're most prepared that you can be when you finally open your salon again?
Honestly, now we have more time than ever. And now we have time to do things we haven't had time for before during those busy days at the salon. For example, working on projects like I mentioned, the self-styling how-to videos. That was something we wanted to do for so long, and now it's finally time to do that. And it's also a good time to realign your salon vision. For example, thinking about new salon services. We tried to do a virtual brainstorming with our team, and that's something that you could do too, just to get involved and so it's not so boring sitting at home.
Yeah, yeah, it can be tough. There's only so many Netflix series that you can sit and watch before you start getting itchy fingers, I guess, and you want to be doing something.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely like staying in touch with the team and making sure that you're focusing on the future and just, you know, showing that you care for your clients and stuff. That's super important. Thank you so much. So I think Edith's coming back.
I'm back. Thank you, Matthias. That was really lovely and interesting to hear. I am going to ask everyone, if you do have any questions for Matthias, pop them in the comment section. I forgot to ask you guys before. So do pop them in if you have any questions. I'll give you a couple of minutes, maybe, shall I?
Yeah, you can do.
Oh, and like I said, I actually now love doing how-to videos, being confident on camera, and my clients love them as well.
Yeah, definitely. We've seen so many, you know, people setting up in the corner of their living rooms, or, you know, seen some people in their garages or things like that. They found a head block and they're sharing their techniques and sharing their ideas. I think it's amazing. So cool.
Fabulous.
Yes, super cool just to try new things on your mannequin heads, because you have them anyway, and just be creative.
Yeah. You can return all 4 sections back to what they were when they started. I'm gonna get beaten up for that.
What I'll do, guys, if you do have any questions, I'm going to let Matthias go now. It's really late in Germany, so I'm going to let Matthias go. But if you do have any questions that you do pop into the comment section, hopefully Matthias will be kind enough to answer them via email, and then I can send them all to you too. Chris, do you have anything more?
Yeah, just again, a massive thank you to you, Matthias. I know it's super late, and I really appreciate you joining the webinar this evening, and congratulations to you for doing a Master Color Expert. Do you have any final words of wisdom for anyone watching?
Yeah, thank you so much for having me on this webinar this evening. Of course, it's late, but I'm still here. So let's support each other in these difficult times and do what we can do to stay strong and positive. Well, I love.
Thank you, Matthias.
Bye-bye.
Bye. So that's back to you, Ida, in the studio.
In the studio. That was some great insight from Matthias on what you can do now. We realised that the graduation has come at such an interesting period. So there's not much that we can put into action, but Matthias has given us some really good tips of what we can do now that we're at home and not as busy as usual. what I'm going to do now, Chris handed over to me, I'm going to hand over to Eddie, who's somewhere in the stratosphere of the internet. Eddie's going to do a Q&A with another one of our experts. And I will say this time, if you do have any questions, pop them in the comment section. I'm saying this now, I'm not forgetting, so we can do a quick Q&A after. So I'm going to bring me and Chris off, and I'm going to bring Eddie and his expert on. Thank you, guys.
Ada, thank you. Lovely, so lovely to hear from Matthias, someone who was on the journey with you. He's such a sweet guy. Love to see all these different comments in here. And as Ida said, just another reminder, if you have any questions as that pop into your head as what we're discussing, ask away. So up now we have another guest speaker called Joanne O'Neill, and Joanne is an existing master colour expert. She is a master colour expert many years. She is a hairdresser from Northern Ireland, and more importantly, a very good friend of mine. A member of the Wella Style Council in Ireland, a Wella Passionista. I see questions coming in about Passionistas there. We'll talk about that, don't worry. And a salon owner in Northern Ireland, and a true inspiration to master colour experts. So Joanne, thank you for joining us and sharing your story. Tell the guys a little bit about you.
Firstly, thank you so much for inviting me on this webinar this evening. I am absolutely thrilled and delighted. Congratulations to all the new MCEs. It's amazing. My name is Joanne O'Neill, and I've been hairdressing for over 30 years. Oh my goodness. I am a salon owner, and I've had my own salon for 25 years. During my training, I specialised in cutting, but I have spent my entire career learning all aspects of hairdressing, from avant-garde to upstyling, colouring and session work.
Wow, quite a career, Joanne, quite a career. And I've had the pleasure of working with Joanne lots over the years, so I think she's a true expert with lots to share. And before we look forward though, Joanne, let's look back a little bit. Tell us what what's your fondest memory of doing Master Colour Expert?
Oh, my fondest memory. But before I tell you that, I'll tell you my biggest fear when I went to do my master degree was meeting maybe people half my age and them knowing twice as much as I did. But the biggest thing and the most important thing that I got was the camaraderie from the classroom. Just meeting everybody, being so supportive and helpful. And it was like going on a journey with them. And you make a friendship that's going to last a long time, because you see them now popping up on Instagram, and I see them at different events through Wella. So I really enjoyed meeting everybody. And the other thing I really loved was creating our colour Bible. That's what we called it, was putting together all our theory work. And it was just such an important thing to have. And also, to be honest, I really enjoyed doing the colour block challenge. I just love having something really, to think about, and I really looked forward to doing it. So I enjoyed the colour block challenge. So yeah, that was one of the things I really enjoyed about my master colour degree.
Yeah, and it was, you were such a pleasure working with all that time. My next question for you, Joanne, or topic to discuss, is like a hot topic on everyone's tongue is when we do Master Colour Expert, we're like, is that it? Or, what's next? What do we do now? So can you share, share a little bit about what you did after Master Colour Expert?
Okay, well, I suppose at the minute it's hard. We're living through a global pandemic. It will pass. But what I want to do is share kind of my story, my ideas, and my inspiration, to help you, maybe make a plan, or to give you something just to think about, while we're off at the minute. Try to plan ahead and think about things that we're doing. Sorry, I've lost my train of thought there. What did you ask me?
That's okay. What is what's next for a Master Colour Expert?
Well, for me, I suffer from a repetitive strain in my shoulder, which I've had it for some time. For my salon, I felt that I needed new ideas. I needed something to lift the salon for me. And the Master Colour program really gave me lots of ideas, lots of learning about things that I'd never thought about really. And I'm embarrassed nearly to say I didn't think about skin tone or eye colour. I didn't really think about people's lifestyle and the choices for their hair. So these are some of the small things that I picked up on during my journey in the Master Colour degree, let alone the major things, These small things that I picked up on was handy and useful for me to create these client profiles, to make my hairdressing more bespoke and individual. And that was a very exciting concept for me. So that's what I started talking about in the salon. And when I went back to my staff and to my clients, that's what I talked about. I talked about how their hair, the colour was going to suit their hair, suit their skin tone, how it was going to suit their lifestyle. All these things were so important to me at the time. And I suppose it was so important to bring it back to the staff, the training, helping my staff understand where I wanted to take the salon, what my next steps were going to be. And all these new skills that I had learned as a colour master expert, the girls were so intrigued. They were dying to hear, how do we do all this? How do we put it in motion? They just loved every aspect of the new colours that we were learning about.
That's amazing. I think it is so important. It's whether you're a manager or salon owner or just a team player, it's important to share the information, get people on board with you and bring them along the journey with you. That's super, super important. Joanna, you have a very special story, and I suppose it's the reason I had you on today. Tell the guys about the risk you took after Master Colour Expert.
Well, it really was a very difficult, not a difficult decision. It was a hard decision because I knew that I wanted to change not only my own lifestyle in the salon, but I really wanted to bring my staff on as well. So the changes that I made, I had been doing clients for 20 years, the same clients for 20 years for blow dries. And I just found with this repetitive strain on my shoulder that this was just really hard work. I wasn't making the salon profitable enough. And I just felt that the blow dries were a service that the salon could no longer offer. And my husband said, you're going to really upset people. You're going to lose business. My mum was upset. She thought, we live in a small village. This is going to be terrible. Nobody's going to be speaking to her, So it was all a very personal thing for them. But I knew it was the right decision for me. And my staff really got on board. They loved this new client profile that we were doing. We'd added structure to the salon. I put structure into our service menu. So it's really to help clients decide what it was they really needed, what they wanted. It made it feel very bespoke for them. They felt very, very, important that's what I thought about. I made Pinterest boards for clients coming in, and then I was able to show them the ideas that I had. So every time somebody came to the salon, I would change their colour very slightly, but every time I change, just slightly, but it's definitely a change. It makes people feel really, really important. So this helped me to, increase the spend of my clients because it even helped me sell retail as well, my shampoo and conditioner and other services in the salon that made more money than blow drying. So it was a very different. I'm not saying it's for everybody to do, but I think it's something that you can look at. And I really enjoy going to work now. It makes me a better person. I get to be creative. I don't feel like I'm doing the same hairstyle over and over. That I'm actually really getting to be me as a hairdresser.
I think that is such a wonderful story, Joanna. It's how a risk can pay off sometimes. And as you mentioned earlier, there are uncertain times, and we don't always have the power to make big radical changes to our business or the work that we're in. If you were to tell someone to take something small from that, what would your recommendation be?
I think maybe take a chance. think about what you really enjoy in your hairdressing. Think about, how you make your client feel every day, because if you're doing your best, they're going to feel their best, so I would say just, believe in yourself and have confidence in the new skills that you have. And just go for it.
That's awesome. That is awesome, Joanne. Believe in yourself. I love it. All about value tonight. So we had Matthias and Chris earlier mention Wella Passionista, and you are also Wella Passionista. For those of you who maybe aren't aware, Wella Passionista are a group of influencers, from micro influencers to, really, big hairdressing influencers that post their work on social media, that they get their content shared on Wella.com. They get, growth from this. They get exposure to more customers from this. So Wella Passionista is something to really, really aspire to. And Joanne, tell me, how did you become a Wella Passionista? Or how do you become one?
I think to become a Wella Passionista, you have to really show your passion for colour. And I've always been interested in entering competitions. So I love being in Trend Vision. I'm also a Wella Style Council member. And I also am a guest artist at the Wella Studio in Dublin. So I really, love to share ideas. I've always loved to share techniques and inspiration. So I think the best thing to do is to, share as much as you can on your social media, like how-tos, or, it's just amazing, because years ago it used to be, even 10 years ago, people would never have shared their formula. They never would have told you. You could have asked, oh, how did you create that beautiful color? Well, I'm not telling you, but now with the social media, Instagram especially, that I love Instagram, you can be backstage at Fashion Week with Eugene Solomon. You could be, watching the colour teams from around the world creating their latest looks, and you can see them live on Facebook. So getting yourself into social media, sharing your ideas and your inspiration, and just really showing what you can do, and just making sure that your profile is up there.
That's brilliant, Joanne. That is super, super inspiring. And you're right, because I know I skipped a question there, Joanne, but I know you're a big believer in community, and, and I just think your story about the change in the industry over the last 10 years, how you say that there's such passion, people want to share, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you really want to share.
So tell us, what are the perks of being a Wella Passionista? What do you get from this?
Oh my goodness. Well, you get, first of all, a global community. You've got your, the worldwide community of creative, talented people all together. You've got support. You could go on and ask questions through Passionista, through the Wella UK and the Wella Hair World. Is it Wella Hair? Yeah, on Instagram. Absolutely amazing network of people to find all your inspiration and ideas. Passionista is, I also love, they send you a little box, you get your gift box, and it's crammed full of all the latest technology. You're nearly the first one to see the new colours, which is just amazing. And little ideas for creating your Instagram stories as well, which is amazing. Maybe a few sweets in there as well. So you just have to become a Wella Passionista to find out all these secrets and ideas. It's amazing.
And do you talk to your clients about it? What do your clients think of it?
The box comes into the salon, and the girls are like, "Do you want me to open that box?" And no, it's for me. I have to do my whole, story on my Instagram story. So, everybody really, it's exciting. And everybody really does love to see the box, and it's got the new colours for the season. And yeah, the clients my clients just love all about colour. I think it's because I talk about it all the time. I remember when I was young, I was into hair cutting, but I very quickly realized that every haircut needs a really good color. So, color is what I talk about all the time. And my clients are very, very enthused by, hearing all the latest trends.
I love that, and because clients really do buy into it and go on the journeys with you when you have one of these, chances or opportunities. So the big question everyone I can see is, or a lot of people are starting to ask here is, Joanne, what advice would you give to people who want to become a master color expert? What if they are not a master color expert, a passionista? What have they to do?
What you need to do is really get on your social media, share your techniques and your ideas, really show off what you can do. You need to kind of hashtag Wella Passionista. You need to tag Wella Hair, and you really need to show what you can do. Even if you find out the probably Instagram name of some of the color technicians at Wella in your local studio, and I would be tagging them, and I do tag them. So yeah, get your name out there, get noticed, tell people who you are and what you're about, and really share your ideas. Social media is great, but I also found that I always enter Tranvision, and my salon staff enter Tranvision. There's loads of competition work that you can get into, and it really pushes you forward, and let Wella see what you can do to become a passionista.
I love it, Joanne. And guys, when we do Master Color Expert, different people want different avenues, and it is a cool next step to aim for. You have to be kind of discovered, you have to be found. You can apply for it online, yes, but the big thing is, tag at Wella Hair, at mention Wella Hair all the time. Like Joanne said, find your local educators, find your Wella teammates, mention your country if they have an app mention as well. Get discovered and get posting. We're looking for influencers and micro-influencers. I feel like I'm doing an ad now, which is not what I'm doing. I'm giving you guys advice on next steps.
That was really interesting, guys. Thank you. I really enjoyed that. Joanne, you I think you've inspired us all. I want to be a Wella Passionista now too. I don't have a lot of questions, but I do have a couple of nuances. Annette says she's going to be making a bunch of Pinterest boards while quarantined. Great idea, thank you, Joanne. A lot of people excited and want to know how to become passionistas, which you answered. A lot of people feeling very inspired, inspired to do more inspiring, and inspired to also help other people grow, which is really lovely. Okay, thank you, Joanne. We won't keep you any longer. I know it's late where we all are too. But thank you so much. Eddie, is there anything else you want to say to Joanne before we let her go?
Joanne, I suppose just from me, a huge thank you for coming, and thanks for sharing your story, because it is a super inspirational story. You've given us more than I expected today, so thanks. Thanks to you.
Thank you so much for having me, and please, everyone, keep safe, keep your family safe, and I know our priority is to be safe at the minute, but make your plans for the future. This will pass, and have a confidence in yourself and your new skills. Just go for it.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Joanne.
Thank you. Right, let's bring Chris back. Hey, Chris.
Love Joanne.
That was great, guys. Thank you, both of you. That was really interesting and inspirational, and we all enjoyed it. Okay, let's. We're going to move on to a Q&A. I know there's not a ton of questions, but we'll take any that you do have. Just before we do any of that, I just want to talk logistics, as usual. Quickly, certificates and yearbooks. So I know you guys are super looking forward to receiving your certificates and your yearbooks. We're doing absolutely everything that we can to get these to you as soon as possible. As you can imagine, the postal service in different countries is crazy right now. We can't guarantee 100% when we can get these to you. But what we can promise here, both myself at Mastered and the guys at Wella, is that we're going to do everything we can to get them to you as soon as possible. In the meantime, though, I know you guys have your digital certificates, and what we're going to do is roll out digital yearbooks too. And that gives you guys a chance to start sharing these with your community online, etc. While we try and get these packages over to you as soon as possible. And I promise when you do receive them, it will be worth the wait. But thank you guys for being patient on this. I know it's like, it sucks a bit. We want to get them to you as soon as possible. I would drive around the world myself if I could. Okay, let's see, what questions do we have? Okay, so we've got some education questions. We've got a question from Sarah. She asked, what should our next steps be if we would like to become an educator?
Good question. I suppose for me, the biggest thing that you've done it already. You've educated yourself, you've trained yourself. Now it's just about exposure and finding a job available. Like, it depends on what route of education. Did you say educator, Ida?
An educator, I think.
It depends on what route you want to go down. First thing you need to do is find a vacancy, look for advertisements of a job vacancy. If you want to work for a certain, academy, or if you want to work for Wella, make a contact in Wella, in like local, who is a manager or, has hiring power. It's super, super simple.
I think as well, to add on to that, I think when I got my job with Wella, I didn't have the most amount of confidence when doing stage work. So I think for me, the thing that I had to work on most once I was an educator, once I became an educator, was practicing in front of camera, was practicing on stage. So I think if I'd done that before, it probably would have helped me quite a lot. So, like we're seeing loads of people presenting their work a lot on social media. So I think that'd be a really good way to put yourself in the best possible position, so that when a role comes available or something is brought forward to you, that will definitely help you in the long run. So just be as prepared as possible. But yeah, like Eddie says, you're already a master colour expert. You're in one of the best possible positions to move forward with that.
Absolutely. I've got some other questions here. Let me see. I would like to know if there is somewhere we can get great resources for consultations and colour boards, etc.
A good reference. Can I give you one to start with? At Fergal Wella. Is it Fergal_Wella? Let me just check. He's one of them. He's the community manager for Wella, and he works with all of the Wella Fashionistas. He's an amazing hairdresser. He's super inspiring, but he does all these like collages and mood boards on like different types of brunettes, and he even goes as far as to give you like the vocabulary of how to describe the colors to your clients. He's really inspirational, and it's something so simple like a post on Instagram. He's amazing.
Yeah, and also if you've never had a look, I'm sure you probably have, but if you've never had a look on the Wella Pinterest account, there's so much content on there, and the way they've laid it out with lots of inspirational content, like pictures and images and mood boards and stuff, is super cool. And also, if you go on Wella.com onto the trending section, which is the bit that I look at there, you'll find the Trend Hub on there, and you can download loads of formulas, loads of inspiration, loads of images, and that's really useful as well.
Right, so I was going to say, if he does not mention Trend Hub, he is in so much trouble. I was going to say, guys, go check out the Wella Trend Hub. It's absolutely awesome, super inspiring, and it gives you formulas, steps, consultation, everything.
And it shows you, when people tag at Wella Hair, this is where it ends up. So this is, the community sharing. We're sharing everyone else's work. It's not Wella's, it's all of your work. So every time you tag at Wella Hair, we get to see it, and then we can try and repost it.
Thanks, guys. I've got a couple more questions. One from Christina. I can jump in quickly, but I think you guys can give us more insight. Will there be refresher courses after Master Colour Expert? So I'm just going to caveat there really quickly by saying, don't forget that you have lifetime access to Master Colour Expert online content. So you can come back and relearn for as long as you like for the rest of your life. It's there. But guys, is there anything else? Are there any refresher courses?
So each country is slightly different, but what happens is you have Mastercolour congresses available in different countries. Once we have everyone, once we know who's graduated, then that gets sent off to individual markets, individual countries, sorry, and then they have refresher. They're called things like Mastercolour Congress in some markets. And they invite you along and you get to see new bits of information. But we also have loads of courses available within the Weller Studios in different courses around the world. So depending on if you want to look at more scientific aspects, or whether you want to go down the route of more creativity, whether you want to now think, do you know what, I've really nailed my color and now want to learn about the relationship between cutting and coloring or cutting and styling, there's definitely courses available. Absolutely, yeah.
And you guys will receive as follow-up, local contacts, and so that you will have people to help you liaise with you on local education that maybe isn't online, maybe is in a studio, or maybe is around, different areas of the country that you work in. So this will be shared with you.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, guys. I've got a really good question just come in from Yadira. She says, I'm looking to increase my prices. And of course, right now seems like the wrong time due to the circumstances of the world. Her question is, do you have any ideas or examples of ways that I can inform my clients? Like, should I be sending them letters? Is it signage? Do I do it through social media? How do I do it?
I think it depends on, it depends on so much. Like, so for example, if you have more of a mature group of clients, they tend to appreciate things. It sounds surprising because quite often we think so focused around social media, but they do tend to like to receive letters in the post or emails. They like to be able to read stuff. Maybe if you have a more younger group of clients, and they tend to like things that tend to, like, millennial age, they like things on social media, again, like emails. It depends on who your client base is, who you're targeting. But yeah, it is a difficult time. Normally what we would recommend is once you become an NCE, it's a great opportunity to say, do you know what? I've got this huge amount of information now. I've got all these ideas. I have an amazing knowledge of what I could possibly offer you as a client. So I'm going to increase my prices, or I'm going to change my service menus. I'm going to start introducing new services, which again is a great opportunity for you to increase your prices. It might not be the right time for everybody. It might be the right time for you. It depends on what works for you.
I think that is super important. And like, all I can do is echo what Chris said on the key point there. Like the services thing. For me, there's going to be two types of clients that come back in a couple of weeks. The ones that need a little bit of corrective work, or the ones that are almost like a blank canvas, who have long, healthy, natural regrowths now, that might want to buy into a new service or a new look. You know what I mean? So instead of having, a service menu with, T-section, full head foil, maybe talk them into buying into a look, and then your services will naturally increase your prices, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Some people even structure their price list. This is quite hard to say, price list differently. So I know of some hairdressers who have switched from service to the time that it's taken, or they've done the opposite. They've gone from just price by time to price by service. But it depends on what you want to do. You can look at add-on services. You can, like Joanne said, all those little things, those little changes that you can offer a client sometimes will naturally mean that your ticket price is higher because of you just changed and tweaked a little thing. A price increase doesn't necessarily mean that you have to put a full head of highlights up by £200. It can just be the introduction of a Wellerplex service, or a different, a two-tone toner, or it could be a way of styling or an addition of a treatment or something like that. So there are ways that you can increase your ticket price without immediately doing a price increase, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, guys. I will also remind you guys that there is a lesson in the final module on raising your prices, and of course read through whenever is best for you. Now it's downtime, it might be a good idea, but increase your prices when the time is right. I think we're all quite intuitive, but do the work, make the plan, and then increase them when you're ready. That's what I'll say on that. What else do we have? Okay, I'm trying to think, what haven't I answered? I think that the biggest question, I guess, that's coming up is, so, like, what's next? Alexia asked, what's next, Ida? What's coming after our muscular expert? What do we do?
You're free.
Well, will I go first?
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, like, we tried to give you some helpful content today with this webinar, and it's very much, designed tonight that it's like to give you guys a push forward and where you can go next. So definitely Wella Passionista is something that you can start to work towards, because it's not something that you can like buy, it's something that you have to earn. It'll force you, you have to be posting on your Instagram, a lot. You have to be getting likes. So you have to produce content that your customers will like. You know what I mean? Don't do it to aim to be like somebody else. Do it to get your audience that you have already following you more, liking more, interacting more. So that's what it's about, helping you grow your business. It's about you becoming a busier hairdresser, a more popular hairdresser, a more creative hairdresser. That's what it's there for. So, aim for things that maybe you feel like aren't your decision or out of your control. And that's what gives you a bit more of a challenge.
Yeah, thank you, Eddie. Obviously, it's dependent on what path you want to go down as well, because there are so many different, like, we're at an intersection now of something really exciting. And there's so many different paths you can take, whether it is more creative, passionista, whether it's education, whether it's business development. There's so much on offer. What I will say is, please get in touch and let us know what you do. In 1 month, 2 months, 6. We really want to keep in touch with you guys. We want to know what you guys are getting up to, and we hope we can bring you all onto our webinars in the future and talk more about your achievements.
Yeah, definitely. That's a really good point. We want to hear.
We want to hear it all. We're super nosy.
I think as hairdressers we're kind of naturally nosy, but it's always nice. And you know what? Like, the hairdressing community is so small. You always bump into someone or know someone, or you see someone at an event, or I've been into places before to try and pretend that I'm not a hairdresser so I can get my hair cut without having to tell them I'm a hairdresser, and then like 2 minutes later someone walks out of the staff room and they're like, "Oh, hey Chris," and I'm like, "Oh." Like, everybody knows everyone in the hairdressing industry. But yeah, definitely keep in touch with us. Eddie and I have put our Instagram accounts or handles on the screen. Mine's Christopher_Wella and Eddie_Wella, not particularly imaginative a name there, but yeah, get in touch with us, keep us updated on what you do. We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah. Okay, a couple more questions and I'm going to let you guys go, because I'm mindful that we're 3 minutes over schedule. Okay, so let's see. One from, okay, Yadira, another one. Will we still have our Facebook page to stay in touch? 100%, absolutely. That never closes. It's yours. It's yours. Let me see. Maxine Green, how can I get my professional images of Wella Colour that I can use on my website? How can I get professional images of Wella Colour that I can use on my website?
How can you get professional images of Wella Colour?
So what in the UK would be like, the best thing you can do there is drop us an email after this to support. The guys will forward it to either Chris and I, and then we can find out if there's like a local tool. So say, for example, in the UK, they have like, what's it called, Chris? Wella My Marketing.
I've forgotten. Wella My Marketing. Yeah.
So it depends on where you are in the world and what tools are available. But if you drop us a little email, we'll see what we can do.
Thanks, guys. Okay, I'm going to take two more. It's hard to pick.
There's also the lookbook on the International Weller page as well. If you go to the International Weller account, you go to lookbook, you just right click on the image, save as. It depends on what you're using it for. If it's just for your website, then it probably doesn't need to be super high resolution. So you probably, although I'm not the most technical person, you can probably then just upload it onto your website and just say this is a Weller image or whatever. But if you wanted to print it, then I think that's when you need to contact us directly.
Okay, one from Daniel. Weller ambassadors, is that something that you apply for?
I love this question. So things like Weller ambassadors, Weller artists and stuff has totally changed in the last 3 or 4 years. Like what Joanne said, like 10 years ago, you had this select group of like 5 people or like around the country that would do the education or, representative or ambassadors. Now, absolutely everyone is an ambassador. It kind of isn't really a thing anymore, if that makes sense, because of social media, Facebook groups. My best advice here is just put yourself out there in as many forums as you can. It's not something you apply for that I know of. Chris, would you have anything you would add?
Well, I work on all the trend collections, which is normally with people like ambassadors. Eddie, you worked on the last one as well. Really, it's about the person's work. So we have meetings where we say, right, who we're going to work with on this trend collection. And we've worked with internal artists like Kai Sohn from Germany. We've worked with, educators or artists from the UK. It's not necessarily, it depends on what we're doing. It depends on what kind of artist we're looking for. So if we want someone who's doing something quite natural or quite soft, then we look for an artist that is them, because we don't want to control people and saying, okay, you normally do balayages, but now I want you to do a scalping trend collection. Like, it doesn't really work like that, because we won't get the best from the artist. But the best thing is, like Joanne and like Eddie have said, like, show your work, show your style, and show your passion, and eventually, like, it will come to you. And we see it all, like, at Weller Hair.
Fab. Chris, can you just remind us, what's the website with the images, so we can write it in the comment section?
Yes, so you can go on the international Weller.com page. So there's a Weller.com page for each country, which is fantastic and specific to your country. But there's also, when you go to select country, you can see international. And so you go to the international section, and then you can go to lookbook, and you can find images on there and all our trend collections. And of course, that's where the Trend Hub sits as well, which is my baby. But also, if you're in the UK, I think Eddie was saying that they have this thing called Weller My Marketing, where you need to register. But like you said, every country is slightly different.
Or you can ask like your local sales rep, your local educator, your local distributor. They all have material that they can share. It depends on what you want it for.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. And Eddie, you just reminded me. So what happens now that Master Colour Expert Online is finished? Of course, you stay in touch with us and all the things, and we'll still get you your yearbooks and certificates and all the good stuff. But what will happen is you'll be redirected to your region. So then all the information that you need specific to the location that you're in, you'll be able to get through your local region, studio, etc. Okay. I think it's time for us to end. I guess we'll all say a few final words. I will say again for the 20th time this webinar.
It's more than that.
Yeah. But yeah. But congratulations. I really mean this. It's been a pleasure taking you guys through this journey. I know it's been difficult. I know it's been stressful, but it's also been really exciting. I really enjoyed your light bulb moments, supervising your conversations with Eddie, and just really seeing your development throughout this program. One thing that I've noticed from doing all the reporting on this is actually your skill level increase is so high. And you guys passed really well the first time too, but the increase that I've seen in retakes, the increase that I've seen in people's confidence, you guys are amazing. It's been a pleasure, and it's been great seeing you guys grow. Eddie, Chris, before I go on to you, I just quickly want to say thank you to everyone behind the scenes working on this. I want to say thank you to Kirsten, Rosh, Anya, Terence, Valerie, Perry, Beji, everyone that, and of course to Eddie and Chris as well. But everyone working on this project to make sure that you guys have the best possible experience that you can, irregardless of all the stress that it comes with. So thank you, everyone. It's been a pleasure to put you all on this. And thank you, everyone, for joining tonight too. Eddie, I'll go to you first, then Chris, and then we'll do a quick outro.
Final words from me, guys. Keep it really simple and really brief. Congratulations and super well done. You have earned this. You have put in the blood, the sweat, the tears. I've seen like the feedback that your mentors have given you. I've seen the steps that you've done. You've gone through your retakes or your highs, your lows, your ups, your downs with like such positivity and enthusiasm that you've really earned this. Super proud of all of you, and I hope you're super proud of yourself. And like I said earlier, scream about this from the rooftop. Tell everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. I reiterate and totally agree with everything that you said, Ida and Eddie. Like, big thank you and congratulations again. Please stay in touch. And I know it's a really difficult time at the moment, and I wish you all the very best with the situation that's going on. But we stay together, we stay strong, we stay a community, and I wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, okay, we're going to leave you with a short video, but well done, everyone. Bye. See you again soon, I hope.
Goodbye.
Bye.
I know from completing it myself what amazing achievement it is, and really what a journey it kind of takes you on and grows you as a colorist.
The knowledge we have as master color experts really is on another level. We have such a deep understanding of the science of color and how we can really create the best results for our clients.
You almost feel like you've got too much knowledge in your head now. But just understand that this is not a bad thing. This is a really good thing. And what it's given you is loads of options that are available to you. So just embrace it and go with it.
So it will give you a higher level of mastery when you're working in the salon. Show what you can and maybe help the other ones, maybe take more of a leading role.
Don't undervalue your prices. Don't undervalue yourself and the gift that you have.
Don't feel that you can't express your ideas. Always believe from your heart what you're doing.
You need to keep learning and growing, and that means being at the forefront of new technologies, new colors that are coming out, new innovations, that you're constantly updating yourselves on technique and product knowledge to be the best that you can possibly be.